Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Season 47, War number 4 up against Salty. And folks, be prepared for some of the most embarrassing gameplay you have ever seen on this channel. Team today, Lady Deathstrike, Sandman, and Odin, who is there ostensibly for some pre-fights, but as you'll see shortly, I actually forget to use them. First up, we are on the second node of Path 4 here. On node 13, we have a Werewolf. I was originally assigned Sandman for this fight, but I figured that Lady Deathstrike was going to be a little bit faster. This is an unduped werewolf, so no unblockable, no unstoppable, and I talked about this in a previous video, but she is kind of pseudo-immune to long-distance relationship because the potency of her rupture debuffs are based on her armor rating and not her attack rating, so you are missing out on some of the hit damage, as you'll see, as these weaknesses kind of stack up, but the potency of her ruptures is staying flat, and I figured it was going to be much easier if we got an especially aggressive AI to beat this fight with Lady Deathstrike than have to worry about Sandman losing like all of his attack. And I think this decision paid off. We finished this fight at pretty much 100% health here, and more importantly, I nail every single dex for that special one. The werewolf special one sometimes catches me a bit off guard here. I don't even think he gets the special 2 off here before he goes down. So there we go. Alright, we're up on Path 9 in Section 2 here. We have a DANI MOONSTAR on Node 27, and here is where I was supposed to place my Odin shock buff pre-fight, which I forgot to do. I really was not in a very good frame of mind during this war. I had been doing the Winter of Woe fights earlier in the, earlier in the day, and I was pretty tilted for that, so I went into this war. I was really just looking to kind of get it done as quickly as possible. Big mistake, of course. So I noticed, pretty early on in the fight that I had forgot the Odin pre-fight, and I figured, okay, I could still salvage this fight because all I have to do is just back off during the shock phase here, and we'll be fine. It'll be a little slower fight, but it'll be fine. So right here, notice I don't have the taunt up here, and I'm going to push her over a bar of power, and it's going to be not unblockable because I have the heal block on her. So I'm blocking the whole time here, but she punches right through it there, or my block releases somehow, and she places 5 neuroshocks on me, and those end up doing me in. So I have no idea what my thumb was doing, why it released the block there, but yeah, really, really silly and very avoidable death. So we go back in here, and the cleanup goes a little bit better. I think I have to YOLO it here a bit at the end of the fight here, but this is a very, very difficult fight, and I really don't want to kind of undersell that. With Power Focus 2, if you push her to the Special 2, you are going to die if you don't have the taunt up. It is very, very punishing special attack. So you really have to make sure that you're creating enough space for yourself, which is again difficult to do because she's going to have her illusions up quite frequently, and you can't hit into her block, otherwise you're going to be triggering the falter there. So really, really difficult to create spacing for yourself here. So I'm just trying to, hopefully that she cooperates with the taunt up, and we can get the specials out of her before they are completely unblockable. Because again, if we take another unblocked special, it's probably going to neuro us again here. So I'm backed up into my corner. This is mega bad. Trying to keep the heal block on her. Finally, she throws this special one right in the corner there. And I don't know, like the punish didn't work, or she had the illusion up or something there. I'm not really sure what happened. So I tossed the special 2, and I'm finally starting to win the health race here. We have one more special to go out of her. However, she is not taunted at the moment, so I decide to YOLO it. We go Striker into a 5-hit combo into the special one, and I am just praying that she dies before she tosses this special 2. So we hold block to force her to dash in, reparry, and then we hit her with another couple hits to finish her off. So again, a very, very difficult fight. Moving on, we have a Wong here on 36. So Sandman in this fight, he's immune to shock and bleed. The difficulty here is, first of all, I forget that when Wong uses his heavy attack, he's unstoppable. So you can't really use like the typical Sandman heavy rotation because unless you have the decelerates up first, which I neglected to remember here. So you're going to see me start off with my normal Sandman rotation, get up to 14 resistance passives, throw the special 1, bait out a special, and then I immediately regret doing that. The other problem problem in this fight is that when his Eldritch Energy begins to get up to that point where hitting him will detonate it on you, it is very, very difficult to get a heavy off because you can't parry him here, otherwise all that damage is reflected back onto you, and if he has the blue spell up, it is very difficult to maintain your spacing after a special 1 and get that heavy off afterwards. So yeah, you can see this fight going very, very, very poorly already. I'm doing essentially no damage because I've just made some really silly mistakes early on in the fight here. I go for the special 2 to try and like restart the heavy rotation with the safety of the decelerates there, but I end up pushing him to I think I try and dex a special 2 here and it kills me. So this will be my second death in this war, and I just phenomenally bad gameplay. Well, that time we got the full dex on the special 2. That rarely happens here. So yeah, it's just getting the heavy off. I think we just got detonated there. Very, very difficult in this fight. I'm not really sure what the best way to approach this is in terms of there we go with the death. I feel like maybe it's you should just take the one eye open damage, and it's going to be less damage than the detonation. I don't know. Again, I was mega tilted from the Absorbing Man fight, and I probably should have waited to do my fights until later, but I didn't, and now here we are. So we went back in here, healed up. This was a very, very expensive war for me, as you might be able to gather. And I'll be honest here, the cleanup here nearly results in a second death. Close. We didn't get there yet. I have never double KO'd in a war yet in Tier 1, and I was worried that streak was going to end yesterday when I did this fight. So you can see here the Eldritch Energy starting to grow again here. We just get the notification there, so I'm trying to figure out what the best way here is going to be to detonate it. And that is what I should have been doing, is just heavy counter the special 1, let him toss the heavies, don't repeatedly do the heavy spam method unless you have the decelerates up here. So again here, probably should not have pushed him to the special 2, but I kind of felt myself getting pushed into my corner, and I figured I could just block this special 2, which I do. However, again, it just punches right through my block, and he, for some miracle, decides not to do a full 5-hit combo, because that would have absolutely killed me. He does a short 3-hit combo, gives me another chance to clear the fight here. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm kind of like laser focused. Like I cannot be dying twice to this fight. We had already lost the war at this point. A bunch of folks besides me died in this war. So we had already lost, but so it's just kind of important that we clear. And there we go. So 11% health, maybe 1 or 2 more hits away from giving up second death on that fight. I was glad that I didn't do that. Alright, last fight of the war, mercifully, is a fight that I've taken a bunch of times before. We have a Sauron here on node 40. Gonna go in here with Deathstrike because she has all physical damage, so you don't have to worry about high energy diet. Doesn't really rely on her special attacks for damage either, so you don't have to worry about Burn and Might. All you really have to do is just make sure you end your combos in mediums to apply the heal block, and don't push them to the special 2. And make sure that you can not mess up all the special 1 dexes, which I've done already twice here at the start of the fight. And even with her OP nanite healing, we're still taking a bunch of stupid damage. Again, just some phenomenally poor gameplay from me in this war. But, I commit to showing all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. I have sped this particular fight up, as you can tell, because it's really just a lot of the same thing back and forth here. Now I'm just, comboing him, intercepting, pushing him over a bar of power, and then baiting out the special 1. Remember, there are 3 dexes there. If you nail all 3, you will have done better than I did in this fight. I think that's 3 or 4 that I've screwed up. Oh, there we go. I finally get one right there. Yeah, Deathstrike, just, the overall best counter, I think, for this particular node. Yeah. Nothing really else to say about this. I don't give up a death to this fight. I only died a half of my fights this war. So, yeah, lesson learned. Frame of mind, very, very important, I think, when it comes to doing war fights. So I will be much more aware of where I'm standing next time. So we did go on to lose this war, as I said a moment ago. We had lost pretty early on. 4 kills for me, 2 very embarrassing deaths. And our record on the season falls to 3-1. We were in 3rd place overall, going into this war, with Salty, I think, was number 2. So good on them, respect to Salty, and we have dropped down back into the top 10, which is completely fine. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this and enjoy watching me die, please let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. See you again next time.